Hey ladies, welcome back to Halftime on Every Way Woman. We're talking the Olympics and sports. TK, what have you got?
Amazing. We're talking Olympics and sports and how women are portrayed. There's a couple of things that are happening with the women in the Olympics. One is the Australian swimmer Lascelles Jones. She was criticized by the local newspaper about being too fat.
They actually ran a poll.
Exactly.
I saw, was
horrible.
she fit enough to swim? I mean, if she passed the trials, nobody should question
She's an
her.
Olympic swimmer.
Right.
Really.
Well, she had 3 golds, 4 silvers, and a bronze. She's been competing since she was 15 years old.
Right.
My take on it, she's 26 years old. She might not, with training, you can train and not eat properly, but still be a qualified athlete.
Right.
And like you said, she did qualify for the nationals, so she deserves to be there. Maybe she just doesn't care. I mean, maybe she doesn't want to do the.
But do we discuss this with males? I don't think we do, and that's what I have a problem with. Is why is it always females that get singled out?
Well, it's always
and
going to
picked
be that.
apart
Like
by
that.
their look.
Why do we all have to wear, like our volleyball team has to wear little teeny little underwear?
No, they don't have to. They have the choice to. And being a former track and field athlete, I like the 2-piece. I had no problem wearing it.
Why do you like a 2-piece?
I love the 2-piece. It felt like to me, because we had the option. We had a full body. We had the one to the knee. I just prefer the 2-piece.
Is it more aerodynamic?
There's no, actually, I think it's in the last Atlanta games, they had a full bodysuit. I don't know if you remember when Marion Jones was running, and there's a couple other athletes. They had the full bodysuit. And on top of that, I mean, beyond the fact that Marion Jones is no longer a champion, she used to wear the full piece to the knees and the full bodysuit. But there are women who prefer the 2-piece. I like the 2-piece. There's no rhyme or reason to it.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I like the 2-piece.
Maybe it makes you feel more confident.
I just, if you have the six-pack,
even without it, if you feel good in it, who cares?
Right.
If she feels good, let her swim, let her do her thing.
Right.
Everybody should keep their mouth shut. She looks good if she feels good, and that is what
That's
matters.
the most important thing. And she's got the talent.
Yeah. And now there's another athlete by the name of Zoe Smith, who's a British Olympic lifter. She got targeted on Twitter about not being feminine enough.
And she's a lifter. I mean, you need some muscle. You need to.
Right.
I mean, Twitter and social media is kind of one of those things where it's just kind of like you're attacking these people, and it's just like if you don't like them, if you don't like them,
It's
on their page.
so easy to do that, and people do it anonymously too. So it's just you just can be as mean as you want. I mean, it's really horrible.
And they would never say that to her face.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
the thing is, that's the thing. Why say it? If you're on Twitter, then why even go on her page? Like, who cares about that? But that also leads to a lot of things of what is true femininity. Like, is it the blonde hair, blue-eyed, size 2, or is it the weightlifter? You know what I'm saying? So it's just kind of like, I think that person who was on Twitter, who was anonymous, and actually his Twitter account is no longer active, it's just kind of like, that was his interpretation. But if that's your interpretation, then why don't you go to that person on Twitter versus the weightlifter?
Well,
and,
there's some other powerful women in sports right now.
There's some powerful women, but there's actually one more thing. The Japanese women's soccer team actually went economy class. The national team sent them economy class, opposed to the men who weren't as successful, who went business class. Yes.
And that was simply because they were women. There was no other excuse for that.
They have a lower budget?
They thought they were smaller.
No, well, they won. The Japanese women team is world champions.
Well, now that is something to think about.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, of course, there's a lot of women to watch for the Olympics. There's Gabby Douglas. There is Carmelita Jeter. There is Misty from the volleyball. So there's a lot of women to watch for the Olympics. And actually, there's more women in this Olympics than there have been ever.
Oh, that's so exciting. Ladies, we've got a lot of women to support. Keep watching Every Way One. We'll be right back.